afternoon at 4, Louisiana rapper Mystikal pleaded guilty to third-degree rape charges moments ago. Thank you for joining us here at 4. I'm T. Chappelle. Mystikal now faces a maximum of 20 years in prison. Rapper Mystikal, whose legal name is Michael Tyler, was arrested in 2022 on rape and domestic abuse charges. The judge in the case ordered a pre-sentence investigation before the sentencing, which is set for June 16th. Tyler faced similar charges back in 2004 for sexually assaulting his hairstylist. He would end up spending 6 years behind bars and labeled a registered sex offender.
Nigga was screaming, free him, free him. You probably want to be him. I was co-ed before I was beating him. Who said, bitch, did you see him? The big, the black, the bad, the bald head motherfucker. So get the fuck the back to something, dog. The truck is coming. I'm stopping the track, I'm killing the beat. That's how I eat. I'm whooping the niggas, I'm rubbers, and whooping the bitches across the street. Go get a bucket when I spit like this. I make Jet Li flinch when I kick this shit. Baby, I need you, baby. Right now, I can use you, baby.
It's Focus Connect back in the building. And I appreciate everybody for tapping in to my channel. Man, don't be scared to hit that like button, share, subscribe to the channel, and leave some comments. When I look at the situation with Mystikal, I just think about this, man. When you go to court, they gonna judge you off your past. They gonna judge you off your record. I've never been to the feds, but I heard they go back on all your charges, and that's what give you your points into how much time they give you or not. That's just letting you know that they're gonna look at your past and you're gonna be judged according to your rap sheet. Mystikal got charges going all the way back from the early 2000s that's along these same lines. Back in the early 2000s, Mystikal had the song Shake It Fast. Now that was the worldwide hit. Now everybody else that was in tune with No Limit, Mystikal had so many different hits during that time that Mystikal was the man. He couldn't do nothing but go up. He was up. But then we look at all it takes, man, is the allegations from these women to destroy a legacy. Because now Mystikal don't even really get looked at for the fact that he made all this brilliant music. Mystikal getting looked at based on these charges because of certain actions that Mystikal, he brought a lot of this stuff on himself. Because Mystikal, his album After Shake It Fast was at the top of the top 200 list during that time. Mystikal ended up having to go and do time for something along these same lines. You know what I'm saying? Mystikal had to register as a sex offender in 2012 because Mystikal sexually assaulted and extorted his hairstylist. These are the charges he had. And he did time, so I'm saying he did it because he ended up having to register as a sex offender due to the charges from his hairstylist. And then Mystikal had in 2012 a domestic abuse case. 2017, another rape and kidnapping case. And then now we talking about this case that Mystikal he agreed and pled guilty to third-degree rape where he facing 20 years. But by Mystikal past, in the history of the charges that he already had, Mystikal was gonna be facing mandatory life because they going back to the past and saying, okay, you did this once, you did this twice, you did this 3 times, even though they threw this one out. Why is your name attached to all these type of charges? Now y'all gotta understand, if you catch a charge and you catch a drug charge today, or a couple years from now, you catch a pistol charge. After that, you catch an assault charge. Then they can't really pretty much make it as if this is just your MO. Now, they can say you a criminal, but they can't say that a particular thing is your MO. See, that's how they do these investigations. Like when certain crimes go down, that's what the police do. They're gonna track everybody in the area that's known for doing these type of crimes. So your reputation gonna precede you. That's how they know who to look into. Now they gonna talk to a lot of people that didn't really do it, but that's how they gonna narrow down the pool of people who they gonna question, the people they gonna take in for fingerprints and DNA. But the crazy part about Mystikal's situation, these wasn't no random females. The charge that Mystikal just pled guilty for, this was his wife or his close girlfriend. These people lived together for years. And my whole thing is this: protect the women and children at all costs. Because see, we know a lot of times men get under the influence. We know a lot of these celebrities feel as if they hold a certain power that people gotta do what they tell them to do. And I don't know what's the case with Mystikal, but all I know is Mystikal hit a lick by getting these 20 years or less. And 9 times out of 10, when you make a plea, they ain't gonna give you that 20. So Mystikal might get 15, might get 10, or anything in between. Plus, he already did some time. If Mystikal is the type of person that's gonna push himself up on a woman, and if that's who he is as a person, then that's where it's time to separate the music from reality. Mystikal made some music basically timeless with Shake It Fast. And every other hood classic will always ring in the hood when you play certain songs. But I'm standing on protect the women and children because you got too many people walking around with trauma based on situations like this. And for a person, wife, or close girlfriend, somebody you've been dealing with, to put these allegations on you, Mystikal didn't have a choice but to plead down, because if he would have went to court, his track record was what they was gonna see. So Mystikal instantly was gonna get that mandatory life. So I think he fared way better in the circumstances he is now, because he may get a 50% of he gotta do 50% of the time. Or he might get some type of sweet deal along with that plea. I don't feel like a person that can cause harm to a woman should be on the street amongst all these other people who could possibly be victims. Then I be thinking about, man, what kind of evidence could they have had on Mystikal to where they could lock him up for that? Because if it's my old lady, I feel like I would have been able to get some type of grip on the situation, leave the house, let everybody calm down. Or how aggressive did Mystikal have to get for it to get like this? And I know women can be very vindictive. You got some women out here that'll go to the furthest extent to get you. So I ain't gonna automatically rule out that the woman could have known the position that Mystikal was in, because if he would have went to any court of law, he was gonna have to go through this situation. So I know some women are so strategic that they know you're gonna have to plead guilty to that or get life. And sometimes women do things based on their emotions and they don't understand how far a situation can get out of hand. And a lot of people, when they calm down, they regret the decisions that they made. But when you talk about the law coming there, for them to put these charges on Mystikal, that lady either had to be a strong witness or they had some type of evidence to prove what Mystikal did. Because they did say Mystikal made the woman cash app him some money, took the woman keys. So that's pretty much like kidnapping, because you held her against her will, and then they saying you raped her. So Mystikal was in a position where he had no other choice but to take that 20 years or less, because other than that, his life was gone. It was gonna be another situation like how C Murder is. You know what I'm saying? His appeals is up, and C Murder pretty much, his fate is sealed. But we gotta move strategic out here, man. Protect the women and the kids. Like I say, if Mystikal know what he did, and if Mystikal really did this, man, I feel like Mystikal should have got that mandatory life. See, a lot of time we gotta start opening our eyes and paying attention to the care that a lot of victims need. See, a lot of time we get caught up on people's celebrity status. We get caught up on the fact that we care for a person, and then we overlook the reality of who that person truly is at heart. So I'm hoping that Mystikal be a good fit in society, because if he live another few years, he will be back out. I just hope if it's any victims involved, they can overcome their trauma and let a lot of these situations be an eye-opening lesson to understand we all gotta move strategically, and we gotta take this serious, because we up against a lot of different things that can strip us of our legacy every day. And most of the time, it's that person laying right beside you. So men, keep your head on the swivel, and ladies, keep y'all head up. I'm out.